I'm Charles Martinez, University of Oregon Vice President for Institutional Equity and Diversity. One thing that people might not know about me is that I'm a licensed commercial pilot and a flight instructor. Well, I started taking flying lessons actually as a graduate student. That was been about 20 years ago is when I started to fly. My brother-in-law was a pilot and a flight instructor, and so he took me up in an airplane, and I had this amazing experience. And afterwards I said, I don't know what it cost or how I'll find time, but I have to do this. I became a licensed private pilot, and then after that experience sort of said, what else can I do in aviation? Became a commercial pilot and got my multi-engine ratings and other kinds of experiences, and then decided because of my love for teaching that I wanted to become a certified flight instructor. And so after some time then, I became a flight instructor. There are lots of meaningful experiences that I've had as a pilot, but probably the two most important for any pilot, the first one is their first solo. Having that experience of being in an airplane at the controls all on your own for the first time, having to take the airplane, take off, run the pattern, come back and land, having that sense of accomplishment is just such an amazing experience. So that would clearly be one. Being a flight instructor and having the experience of actually giving that gift to others, working with a student who has never been in an airplane before, maybe a student who has never even flown before. It is really an extraordinary, very tactile experience to stand on the ground watching someone who you've trained enter an aircraft, take it off, and fly competently and come back and land. It is an amazing experience. When I was living in Miami and in my work there, I would sometimes have to take sort of charter flights to go on little missions flying people around. And one of the interesting things I got to do was I had someone come in wanting to charter a pilot to go and count manatees. So I spent an afternoon in a small aircraft with people whose job it was to count the population of manatees living in Miami, Florida. And so we flew around the city looking in all the little places in between houses, waterways, where the manatees would stay, and we counted manatees all afternoon long. That was a very fun experience. While you wouldn't expect there would be a lot of similarities between being a vice president for diversity and being a pilot, I do think there are some connections. There's some things that are very automatic. You learn about what to do in what order, and then suddenly something will surprise you. I will say that as a pilot, I can look back at the work I've done on a very regular basis and see the direct effect. If a flight has been successful, I know it because I've landed and the wheels have squeaked on the tarmac. As vice president, sometimes you don't have that experience, so I think at moments where I've struggled sometimes in my work to see the effects of what we do on an everyday basis, I don't really have that worry when I'm flying.